the tracks. Train's leaving the station. Alright. So, I think this one is, a lot of you guys can probably just look at this and do it in your head. But, keep in mind, and some of you can, I don't mean like you should be able to do it, I just mean like some of you can. But if you're doing that in your head, keep in mind, you gotta know how to do it when the numbers aren't easy too. So, if I change from 91.2 and 80.75 and a standard deviation of 4.63, you can't, because Joe got 90. Mean of, and this is the calc test still, mean of 80, standard deviation of 5. Stats test had a mean of 70, standard deviation of 10, and I don't know my X bar. Now the same standardized score means the same Z-score. So all I'm going to do is find the Z-score over here, and then set the Z-score equal to that information, and find an X bar. I'm just trying to match them up. So my Z-score here, Z is always X bar minus mu over standard deviation. So this would be 90, and this is what I meant by you could probably, some of you do in your head, because you're just 2 standard deviations up. Standard deviation's 5, you're 10 up, so your Z-score is 2. And so you want to be 2 standard deviations above the mean over here, which again, I think a lot of you can look at and be like, oh, well, that's 90. That's 70 and then 10 and then 10. But make sure you know how to do it in the actual math form too. So you'd have to go 2 equals X bar minus 70 over 10. And then you'll come out with X bar equals 90. How many had X bar equals 90? How many kind of did it in your head though? Because the numbers were easy-ish. Do you know how to do it the legit way too if you have to? Okay. Questions there? Yes, sir. Does that help? You ask me like organize it, Sid? You good? Alright. Try that. Technically, I should tell you the mean. I think you can figure out what I'm trying to tell you it is, but mean's 1,000. Help getting started. I'm telling you that means 1,000. I'm telling you 90% of the scores are in there. Between 800 and 1,200. And you can use that information to find standard deviation. And then use that to answer the next question. I don't want to give you too many hints yet. I'm like slowly give you hints. Pretty cool.
Yeah. You're alright.
Joe, what's your name? Wish I could say the same, buddy.
It's alright.
I like your sweater. You're driving my class?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Good. See you later.
I like your sweater.
Serious?
It was really expensive.
Yeah, he's going to work out.
What?
Remember that one time?
It's not big.
I got like 121.
That? Okay. That's a that is easy. X bar. No, sorry, 800. Like 800 is your X bar. That's the problem. Standard deviation. So you can flip flop over it. The X is what? Yeah, it's like 1.128 C's.
For my standard deviation, I got 121.5.
Is that 200 divided by 1.645?
Yes.
That's right. So again. So now use that. So let me show you how to find the standard deviation for the first one. So 90% of your data is in there. So what percent is here? Like in this bottom little left-hand side here? 5%, right? So if I look up 0.05 in that z-table, I can find the z-score that matches up with 5% of the data below. And I think it's negative 1.645. So that's the z-score that matches up with 800. So then z equals x bar minus mu over standard deviation. So negative 1.645 equals 800 minus 1,000 over standard deviation. I'm going to solve that for standard deviation. You guys remember the trick where you can like exchange those two? So when you have this set, remember we talked about like, so 12 equals 36 over x. What's x? 36 divided by what gives you 12? Alright, hold on. We're going to make these numbers a little bit easier for you guys. Because that didn't work well. What's x? 2, yes. No, I know, but you were the one that wasn't even said anything. So everyone else was like, 36, that's way too, I can't do it. Anyway, did you? I didn't hear anyone say it. So if you switch those, what's x? 2. So you're allowed to switch them is the point I'm trying to make. So do 200 divided by 1.645, and that should be your standard deviation. Lauren, what is it?
121.581.
So that's fine. 121.6 is fine. Now, keep going. I mean, 'cause I don't want to give you the whole thing, but that's like the first step. I think that's the harder part. And then you still got to answer the next part of the question. So that's just allowing you to answer the second question. What'd you do?
I read 90%. I assumed that it was the, like, I could go by 90% below or whatever number. I needed to do 95% below.
Oh, for you used the 1200 side? So, yeah, that's 0.995. Yeah.
But do you subtract another 5% too or no?
If you're looking up, are you trying to find that z-score? Because that's the only way it'd be 95.
Okay.
Then you look up 0.95, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was just doing 90 because it said 90. I didn't even think about it.
With some rounding.
So yeah, there's going to be some serious decimals here. This z-score is going to be negative 100 divided by 121 point whatever.
That's why I said what I got with some rounding.
Yeah. So that's a z-score of negative 0.82. 0.82, what's that z-score? 0.82. And then I can just start looking at my chart. So I want a z-score of negative 0.82. I want to know the percent that is below that. Can't be a negative percent there, buddy.
No, I was asking, like, are you talking about the negative z-score?
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
20.61 for that one.
So this here is 20.61%. And then I could do the same thing with z-score of positive 8.82. So then all of that is 79.39. So what do I do to find what's in the middle? Subtract them. I don't know what that is.
58.78.
Do other people agree with this? I'm just kind of trusting Nick here. Not sure if that's good or bad. Okay. Questions? Go through this again. Where'd you get this? What can I help with? What? I didn't write them down, but I'm going 900 minus 1,000.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, you good? Other questions? Where can I help? What didn't make sense? That's a longish problem. Yeah. You broke down where? Like this? So I'm looking up. Stop talking. So you got the z-score? And then just look up that in your table. And that tells me 20.6%. That's the part below 900. Then I looked up 0.82 in my table. That's the part below 1100. That's that 79.39. And then to find what's in the middle, I subtract them, and that'll leave me with this part here. All right? Other questions? Okay. Hello. These are getting tougher and tougher. I'll give you a minute, and I'll start like slowly giving out hints. I want people to try it first. How do you find outliers? What would you do to find outliers? Okay, then what?
E plus 1.5 IQR minus 1.5 IQR.
So, outliers are Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Or Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Well, what's IQR? Q3 minus Q1. What percent of the data is below Q3? 75%. Could you turn that into a z-score? Yeah. What percent's below Q1? 25. Could you turn that into a z-score? All right. That's like my first hint, I guess.
When you guys are so confident, I was like, yeah, you're wrong.
Nick, you know what I'm starting to realize? Like, the anger, the standard deviation that is caused by this class, the anger, my anger, primarily from you.
See that?
If I put you, like, up at this table, like with a muzzle, let's say, I think it would solve most of my problems.
If you got me like the Hannibal Lecter,
Would you wear it?
I would wear it. I mean, like, probably just for one day. I'm not too long.
Yeah. And then are you going to cut my face off then? Have you seen that one? That one? Sounds so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 times.
Actually, it wouldn't even be you. Does your friend have dogs?
He's like, watch a movie.
Does yours work? I have okay. Basically, he gets this guy. It's basically not talking about
What? Z-score for 0.75. What is it? 0.675. So then the Z-score for Q1 must be negative 0.675. So then my IQR would be 1.35? That's like your next hint, I guess. Question on how I'm getting that? So you only have to find one side. If you find like the percent below Q1 minus 1.5 IQR, then you can just double it. That's just like starting to sketch stuff out a little bit. It should be like 0.7%. Have I got that? Did I go or wait a minute? Yeah, that's the Z-score. Like,
Yeah, I would like you to.
the Z-score is like negative 2.7. So it's not like 0.85%. So double that. Yeah, alright. So, outliers. First we gotta find IQR. And then we go 1.5 times the IQR below, not below the mean, right? But below Q1. So I start from here, and I go 1.5 times the IQR lower. So I want to take this negative 0.675 and go, and I want to go, so 0.675 minus 1.5 times the IQR. This is all Z-scores we're working with. And I believe that comes out to like negative 2.7 something. Is it just 2.7? 2.7? Okay. That's the hard part. The rest of it's the chart. So over here, we're at a Z-score of negative 2.7. I'm going to find that percentage, and then I'm going to double it because I got the same thing going on the other side. You'll probably see this question again. So if you're getting lost, let me know where so I can try to unleash it. You don't know where you're lost either? Do we know how to find Q3? So look up 0.75. Do we know how to find Q1? Try Alright, so then you can find your IQR by just subtracting those two, and that gets you this distance. And then I want to go 1.5 times that below Q1. That's what I'm doing down here. And then I'm going to look up that in my chart, the negative 2.7. That's 0.0035. And that's just on the bottom end, and I don't have to do all that work again. I can just be like, okay, the top end's the same. So times 2 would be 0.007 or 0.7% is your final answer. Questions on that? Sure. Anything I can help with? Wouldn't be surprised if you saw that again. So it's on video, right? I mean, I don't know if that something you'd go back and watch or not, but if I can help. There's one on the review too, so we'll have a chance to practice that a little bit. Any other questions, or any questions, I guess, before I erase it?
Yeah, I did put a negative sign. What happened in the 80s room?
So what's going on?
Wait, so sounds like she has a broken window.
This one's tougher. Yeah.
Is that
So
like
look at that.
to scale now?
Are you really 78?
Seriously, is there a book?
They went into our room and shut the door. No.
Try again.
Is that actually what's on the back?
6'6".
Yeah. Yeah.
6.5.
What's just 6?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Mr. Rodan, how many inches is half a foot?
Is Packer?
6.
There you go.
I just looked at the phone. Just emails Packer.
It's been a while since I had a math class.
My AP students, some of them.
Is there a jar somewhere in here?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, hold on. Hey, I got like a oh, there
What's the jar for?
for the coffee.
Texas Floods. You're the first person that answered like that. Everybody else says for pizza.
Because I
I'm
love
like, no, man. It's
Because I love you.
for a good cause. Good job. Way to go. All right. Good luck.
Wait.
Oh, we got more.
Is there a jar? Is there a window broken?
I don't know, Margo.
Let's see you next hour. I'm gonna be in there next hour.
I don't know, Margo. That's a surprise.
I was like, okay.
All right.
The last problem. So you just look up here and find how much it is. Right. Our reaction.
I'm
That was the part I didn't
There's a 20 in here.
Snag it for me.
Mr. Davis?
Let's get working. You guys got to know how to do this problem. We don't have a ton of time to go over it.
Yeah, I dedicated already. I know what you're talking about.
$3 for giving me.
The percentile is the percent that are below you. So 98% because I'm like taller than 80%. So I'm way up. I'm at like the top 2%. Mr. Packer's like the bottom 10%. I'll tell you this. I'll give you extra credit if you get this right. You can show me the work. I'll give you extra credit. I should probably do it though to figure out what it is.
gonna be a number, right? Not just a bunch of variables.
Mean standard deviation. How do we get out? 28? Okay, you have till 20. You think you got an answer?
I'm on the track. I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. I just need a minute.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a
Read.
question.
You got it? You got any missing columns?
Not anymore.
No, you don't.
I'm running out of room. Where'd my phone go? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You get to a point, if you're on the right track, you get to a point where you have two variables and two equations. You gotta use like advanced algebra systems type stuff. If you have feel it.
Okay, Mr. Davis, I think I got it.
So,
Your process is right. So you messed up like the chart or something. Hold on. She got the same thing as you, so it's possible that me and Kyle are wrong and you two are right. Well, I don't know.
did you round for your medium here?
Here, let's look at the chart. So because I'm pretty sure that it's right.
Kyle, I think we met it.
I got this right.
Yeah, what I had.
Almost there.
I have no idea.
Can't lose that answer.
Is that your name? Alright, we're going. I don't know. We're gonna do it like with everybody and see what we get. Yeah, if you're right, you get it.
I get double extra.
No.
He said show work, so I tried to show literally everything.
So, 78 inches tall is the 98th percentile. So I can look up. Yeah, let's start with this. So if you just look up 0.98 in your chart, what is it? 2.055. And that equals 78 minus the mean over the standard deviation, right?
Correct.
Same thing here. Look up 0.1 in your chart because it's 10th percentile.
Negative 1.285.
So I think I would do something. But we'll see. Oops.
Actually, I was wrong already.
Okay.
I grabbed the wrong z-score for your height.
Me too.
Agree with these two equations?
Yeah.
And so the problem is now it's like advanced algebra now. The stats part is over. I got two equations and two unknowns. So what I would do is solve them both for mu. So like I would say, okay, this is mu equals 78 minus 2.055 times standard deviation. And then same thing over here. So I would say mu equals 62 plus 1.285 times standard deviation. All I'm doing is solving those equations for mu. And then now that I have them both equal to mu, what can I do with both of those two things? Set them equal. So 78 minus 2.055 times standard deviation equals 62 plus 1.285 times standard deviation. Move the 62 over, and this will tell me 16. Move that over, and I'll get 3.34.
Yes.
Times sigma, and then if I divide, so you guys were right. You get 4.79? Is that what you had too, Lauren? The 4.79?
Yes.
Yeah. What did we look at? Because we both made the exact same mistake, whatever it was.
He reached it.
Does this make sense? What I'm doing? Yeah, okay, we just both did something weird. So that's my standard deviation. How do I find my mean?
Plug it back into the
You got two equations to choose from. Plug it back into one of them. Oops. And so Heath, what'd you get?
68.15.
And you can plug it back into this one. You should get the same thing. That's tough. I've only seen that on one AP test. I've got like 8 of them. I've seen that on one. So it's not a huge issue. And it was multiple choice. So you can almost kind of like look at your options, and it helps you kind of narrow down things. So that was pretty tough. So I'll give Lauren and Heath, I'll get you guys extra credit. So this is your homework. We went through, like I picked out the hardest ones, and that's the ones we went through. So you're going to get a chance to practice on the different numbers. We'll check it tomorrow, do another review tomorrow, test is Wednesday.
I was wondering about the common science that thing in senior high, because I think most of the people are going to be there all day. So do we want to
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
How many people are going to be gone 4th hour on Wednesday?
Yeah, if you're with them.
Well, if you give us consent, because we need your signature, is what we all, like, we're all supposed to, like,
Oh, it's just,
Because those kids come here.
yeah.
when do I get to like write you guys a pass? You guys see me come here all day.
Anytime.
Anytime you want.
Anytime.
Alright.
Just not for me because I
Your test will be Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll still be here on Wednesday. Catch us Tuesday.
Probably not. Alright. I don't want to sign 45 sheets, so just put JD. They don't look at them. No, no one's gonna look at that.
This is long.
Just put something there.
Your seat actually.
That's the cause. You don't want to sign my sheet twice. I mean,
Right.
But I want to be clear that this is homework. I expect this to be done tomorrow. Answers, I'll put them up on Schoology too, so you can check as you're going and when I answer questions tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.